with Marco Perazzo and Tim Carpenter, the podcast for the true martial artist.
I had to remember what I was going to show. I might go a little bit off script because I think going by what Tim was showing, kind of giving you a series and having some answers based on maybe a couple questions in the sense of what we're doing is going to be better. This is something that I showed on MMA Academy Online. If you're not supporting Kenny, please, he's got thousands of followers all over social media. So if you're looking for an online platform for martial arts, MMA Academy Online. All right? Checks in the mail, right, Kenny? Perfect. All right, so I'm cross-side on top of Timmy. And I want to get access to this arm. So we're going to start with where we're going to end. So it's like Star Wars. We're going to end it. We're going to begin with the ending. So we want to be in this position right here. Notice how back of my back is on his ear. I'm tight into his shoulder, and I'm cupping inside of here. So this is not a traditional pin, right? But I have a lot of control. Just think about it. My whole body is controlling this shoulder. He can only really escape in one direction. If Timmy tries to turn to his knees, cue Timmy turn to his knees, right? He has to do what? He has to start extending this arm, and this is when we take the arm lock. He can't continue turning to his knees if he doesn't extend that arm, just because of how tight it is. Boom, right? Go back to your back, please. If he tries to go to turtle, to your right, he can't because of my pinning idea right here. All right, so let's start with this, the ending. We're going to be here. We're going to have this sit-out pin. Our partner is going to turn, and thinking about elbow escaping, they're going to extend the arm. I want you to grab at the end of the wrist, all right? You don't even need to connect your hands. I want to make sure I'm between his shoulder and his elbow. Hey, Morph. And we're going to push the wrist down to get the submission. When this works live, I usually get a bit of a yip. Like Morph was giving us a little bit of a yip there. Like people, they don't realize that this is happening. They think they're escaping, and you catch them with a quick arm lock right here. So I want this pin. I like being here because people they think they're safe, right? He starts turning right here at the end of the wrist. Notice how thumb to my body, top of his wrist, connect everything, and just push it down right there. Let's start with that movement. All three. 1, 2, 3. Let's grab a new partner, work with new friends. Let's go. I thought this was going to be simple for all of you, but it seems like Tim's techniques have jumbled your jiu-jitsu minds. So Tim's down. Again, this is why people come, so they see Tim get attacked. So I'm here. I want to make sure that I want to be controlling, but I don't want to make him think that there's no escape route, because if he just lays here, my submission is going to be very difficult to get, right? Notice that when he goes to elbow escape, typically they'll put their hand in the middle of the back. I don't move, right? My body position is the same. I reach to the top of the wrist. He continues to try and escape. That's when the submission comes on. Notice how my elbow is above his wrist so that I can get the power. And it goes, it's not on to it's on in a very short amount of time. All right? So you don't, once you set your position, you don't really need to move very much to get the submission based on what he needs to do to escape. All right? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Question. So what, my legs are getting in the way. Well, not my legs, but the person who's asking the question, because I know what I'm doing. A little. But when I get to this position, the fight is to not allow him to get his elbow to the floor. If he gets his elbow to the floor, yes, I got nothing, but I could turn in. I'm fine in the sense of control. The second I get here, it's not the underarm that works the control. It's this arm, right? Tim tries to get that elbow to the floor. He's got nothing. So this, and then set yourself to get your position to here, to sit, to relax, and then set up the submission. So open the elbow up, set yourself, then capture the arm. 1, 2. All right? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Traditional cross-side position, say, right? And this arm, the one that's closest to my hips, will be the arm that makes this the hardest thing for me to get past. So if I'm here, man, I can't get around Timmy's head. So for right now, let's drill it where we've already beaten the arm, right? I'm underneath this outside arm. I'm going to stuff the head. When I stuff the head, I'm going to post my hand to the floor, connect my ear to his elbow, and I'm just going to walk around this way. Typically, and you saw that Timmy's escape hooks under the arm, right? And we could bait people if we're here. It's like, oh yeah, I learned this cool escape the other day where I could avert under and go for, I've had people try and get me in Darce chokes and head and arm chokes from here because they think they could roll under. Little they know I'm attacking that arm, right? So even if, say, I was here and Tim shoots this arm under, well, then now this helps me. Him turning helps me, and then I sit through right to here and get my submission. So if it's already down or they shot it through, but we have good position, arm control, hand to the floor, look, feet and hand on the ground, walk, walk. Once I get here, I have to stuff his head to make sure that I get past. Once I get over his face, what I'm gonna do is sit out, cup the elbow, capture, wait for his escape, get my submission. All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. Training or going live from certain positions to make sure that you're getting it right. How does the escape work? Where does it evolve? Where does it devolve? And we're going to give you the opportunity to work this position just to see, all right, well, when Tim's allowing me to do it, it's super easy. Where do the problem spots come up when we're going live, right? And we're talking about, that's how you start becoming better at coaching yourself through positions, right? Because if you go to open mat and Tim and I are just, all right, every time we go, it's my A game versus Tim's A game. Well, we know A game versus his, I'm winning. Notice the hand signals. I'm winning. But if I want to expand my game, I have to throw myself or try to get into positions that aren't my A game, right? But I don't do that with Tim the very first time I learn a new technique, right? I start off with, what's his name? Troy, a terrible white belt, right? So I grab a terrible white belt and I work with him, go through the positions, get better at it. Then I move it up to a good blue belt because he used to train with me, Bill. And then we move up to purple, brown, black, and then you kind of move it, you go from there. All right. So one last detail, if this doesn't work, if they escape mid-move, and then we're going to start trying to work some of these things live. So again, I'm cross-side on top of Tim. I've already beaten this arm, or he shot it through because he's going for some sort of counter. I'm here. I start walking around. I do this. And as I get here, Tim already starts elbow escaping, trying to escape. Here, I'm in a really good spot right now. My elbow to the floor, my shoulder in his chest. The one thing I have to do is I need to change my foot position right here. Can't be here. I want to be here. I want to push up, and I want to start grabbing his bottom leg, grabbing his top leg, and driving up and over, and getting my knee under the outside, underneath both of the legs here, and getting a heavy pin. So what I don't want to do is go for a submission and then lose all kinds of control getting my back taken, right? So I go for the submission. If I know that this is the one route of escape that he has, then I have to continue to control. So I already beat this arm. I'm here, stuffing. Tim starts elbow escaping. I'm here. I have to grab this bottom leg. I want to grab this top leg or hug it, so making it difficult. Your shoulder right at the belt knot. Here, pushing up, in, walking over. Notice how I'm driving the knee under. Here. It's not a traditional cross-side hold down, but it's a really strong one. I want to press my knee, my elbow to my knee here and tighten my arms together. All right, so let's do it where they escape the arm, but we continue with control. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. Showing you, and look, this is nothing that we've invented, but it's something that Tim School does a lot. We do a lot here. Is this starting from a position, getting the idea of like, okay, I can make this work, and then also seeing where it works, where it doesn't work from, so that you could start having really good questions. Because the last thing that I want to deal with is, well, what's the best way to do a guard pass? I don't know. There's a million best ways to do a guard pass depending on what kind of guard I'm passing. if you want to be someone that asks good questions, what you go is, hey Tim, when I'm passing the guard and I get to this position here, I get this grip, I have my knee in, they're doing this, right? How should I deal with it? Then Tim will likely say, hey, show me, let me see what you're doing. And then he'll be able to correct a step or a piece, or he'll tell you, like he's apt to tell you, your technique's bullshit. And that's a joke, you can laugh. Anyway, or that kind of stuff. So when you're asking questions, be very specific, because jiu-jitsu is such a broad topic that there is no best this or best that, right? So if I'm gonna start from already being around the arm in almost getting the arm lock position. So Tim's on his back, right? So I got to here, and we're here, right? This is where we're starting from. Tim's job is to escape his arm. My job is to either submit him with the arm lock or continue controlling him with some sort of cross side top, right? So we're not gonna be here for 4 or 5 minutes. Go ahead, go, right? So I'm here, I'm trying to make this work. If I feel like he's escaping, then I'm turning right here. Now, I have the advantage because I got 95% of the way there. He has to do all the work, but now I get to see, okay, this is what it feels like if I were to get here when someone were to resist live, and this is what I would do. These are the forces and the pressures. And then if you have any questions at the end, we'll cover it. All right, so let's all get in that starting spot on 3. 1, 2, 3.